Right. Yeah, always things happen in my life. All right. Gotta adjust the screen here. All right. Yeah. So you can probably still see me, although there's the light there. Yeah, as usual, Ski does help me with ideas. Uh, Nice that you're enjoying that, Mr. Adams. Haha. All right. Uh, yeah, last week, Steve said that my screen looked jaundiced, and of course, seeing that again, it reminded me of one of the weird things that I deal with day to day at work, especially when repairmen come to work on the machines. Because when you're check printing, the machines are very important. When the machines break down, you really can't do much until the repairman arrives. Well, there was one in last week, except the repairman really didn't do anything other than test the machine. And we all, uh, and it's been in limbo for a while on getting the part that's needed to make the machine better, work as best as possible. So it's like, so why do you need to keep testing the machine? And at some point, I don't know how or why, but I actually spoke about William the Conqueror with him, and I don't know why that is, other than I have a French surname, and I think the repairman did too. And I guess I must have thought it was relevant because I talked about going to French subtitled movies, and then it just dawned on me that when Ski said something about jaundice, it's like, yeah, John, the root word, that is the French word for yellow. So I guess with a more intellectual crowd, that make more sense. I talk about somebody like William the Conqueror influencing English language when he conquered. But with a man like him, when we started off talking about movies I'd watched recently, including Bruce Willis movies, it's like, yeah, that seemed to be the wrong crowd on who I talk about historical figures with. But you live, you learn. And I know it also left me behind on work for the day because, of course, when repairmen show up, I want to be able to ask questions and answer them as well. And he was over there he was there for over an hour and really didn't do much of anything. But I'd like to think I learned something from the entire experience. I was trying to get some of my work done during that time, but very hard to do. I'm used to being there by myself when I get my work done. All right. Oh, I know that with the way my memory is remembering just about everything, including things I could forget, you just never know what will pop in there, what will trigger certain memories. Well, I started getting boxes of little raisins at the Aldi near me, and yeah, I'm demonstrative at times. And then I know, you know what it says? California raisins, and it reminds me of the California raisins as in the claymation characters, and I even wrote about it on my blog where I said, yeah, I can remember getting those figurines when I guess they were being sold at Hardee's fast food restaurants when I was a kid in the 80s. And yeah, some of them look pretty cool. And in fact, I still have some of them in a bag in a box. I like this one because he's a saxophone player. And I guess that's more relevant to me now being a performer when you see them playing a saxophone or holding a microphone to sing. Except California Raisins kind of came and went. You haven't heard about them for a while, aside from when they got parodied on The Simpsons one time. Of course, they had to change it to California Prunes so they don't get sued. But that was still a nice walk down memory lane. It's like, yeah, I remember the California Raisins. It probably helped sell them a lot of raisins. I mean, why else would they do that? I mean, ad campaign sells, whatever sells. It was another 2-movie weekend for me. And I'm still doing a Redbox rental and a video store rental. It's hard to say which one of the two is easier to choose, but I do have a list going on video store rentals because those are the older ones. For the video store rental, I did Dude, Where's My Car? Yeah, when I call myself a stodgy academic, that really doesn't fit my persona, but I know that it became pop culture lexicon influence, for lack of a better term, where there are a lot of variations of it, like Michael Moore having a book called Dude, Where's My Country? So at least I've seen the movie now and understand where the term comes from. And it's like, all right, two dim-witted stoners from the Midwest. I guess somehow it works for me. It's kind of hard to explain how. It does remind me of some other movies I had seen before, like Harold and Kumar, which had the same director, or Dumb and Dumber. They get into a jam because they're dumb. They get out of a jam because they're dumb. And they had Renault Le Car in it. Yeah, movies usually like to bring back some old and rare car, like Wayne's World having an AMC Pacer. Yeah, it was a farce. And it's like, yeah, it could be annoying at times, but some people go for that, I guess. Oh yes, the other movie I saw was another Bruce Willis movie. There we go, Back to the Repairman. Except at the time, I didn't say I was going to see another Bruce Willis movie. But this one, he's not playing a cop. He does play cops a lot. And it's like, yeah, I do like thrillers. It's called Hard Kill. He's actually playing an executive this time. So, yeah, a lot of action. There's a body count. It kept me guessing till the end. So, yeah, it was worth the money that I paid for it with the discount code from Redbox. Yeah, can't go wrong with discount codes. I went to another Saints game this season. I love baseball, and I like knowing that I actually get into some baseball games. Major leagues are having fan bands right now, so yeah, I can't go see the Twins. They had a Western theme, so they played a lot of country and Western music. And I'm an Iowa native. You can take the kid out of Iowa, but not the Iowa out of the kid. So I guess some of that country music was just fine. And as the saying goes, I think that went back to the Bible, as we seek, so shall we find. I heard a version of a song I hadn't heard before, Louisiana Saturday Night. I know the one by Mel McDaniel. Found out that's not the first man who recorded it, because Don Williams covered it too. So it's like, yeah, I like how I can learn wherever I go. And I've said that before, the importance of music to me. It's a distraction for me. So then I can stay focused, and then I'm not sad or angry near as much. So I'm the type that will write down songs wherever I'm at if I have pen and paper. Otherwise, I go from memory, and I still do pretty well. Yeah, I'll go some more Saints games this season. Why not? You love baseball, you got to do what you love doing, especially if there are cheap tickets available. So there was the Saints. Yeah, Labor Day weekend, I guess, is going to be busier than I expected. That'll be my third Saints game. And sometimes it helps me nerdy on reading the paper. I buy the paper every Friday, and I actually read all of it on Sunday. And it's like, oh, it tells me that the fine arts exhibit at State Fair is still happening. Good. I bought a ticket. So I'm going Labor Day weekend, too. That's something I like seeing every year at the fair. So I like when it's still happening. And it's cheaper than the drive-through food tour. I'm sure there'll be some good art, because there usually is. I can still remember one years ago of a ballerina on break that captured the moment really well. She had a cigarette and a Mountain Dew. And it's like, yeah, I can picture that being right in front of me. That's what good art is, capturing the moment, freezing the moment in time. Or even some good parodies of American Gothic. As an Iowa native, I like seeing that. In fact, when I first saw American Gothic in art class in grade school, I said, that's that TV show where he pounds the pitchfork. Of course, I meant Green Acres. I didn't realize that Green Acres was the parody, not the original. So that's weird when you see parody first. Tough thing about the libraries being closed during the pandemic is if you still want to print things, you have to pay for them. So I've been going to the FedEx office, except the one close to me was closed. And it's like, what do I do? All right, find another one farther away. So it's like, all right, without much fanfare, I still got printed what needed to be printed, like all the Saints tickets. So there was that. And I didn't even say much about, hey, at least you're open, because then that causes somebody to talk more to me than I really wanted them to. So sometimes it's just good to get in and get out without having to say much to people. Well, let's see. Oh, yeah, might as well. And another one related to the pandemic. It's hard to ignore. It's inspiring a lot of things in my life because we still have to live. I actually have had two comic friends reach out to me on Facebook just wanting to know how I'm doing because, well, they just haven't seen me at the clubs, and I don't know how many of them are open right now. And it's like, well, it's kind of nice that people actually give a damn and actually reach out to you to know that you're doing fine. I guess I'm finding out who my real friends are, but, well, in some cases, I kind of already knew that, but it's still nice to have the confirmation nonetheless. Yeah, that's me, and I guess that'll do it. Thank you. You've all been great.
Yay!